Sales is sales is sales. I don't care if you're selling laptops. I don't care if you're selling water bottles. I don't care if you're selling coaching programs, if you're selling leads, if you're selling SEO. Sales is sales is sales. And the steps are the same. You have a recipe and you execute the recipe. But what you guys need to do is you need to map your flow. From the moment you pick up this phone and you call a business owner, what are you going to say? And as soon as you get off that call, then what are you going to do? And then what are you going to do? And then how's the lead going to get there? And then how are you going to follow up with the lead? And then at what point are you going to call them and say, let's get on a Zoom? And then when you do call them to get on a Zoom and they don't answer, are you going to text them? Or are you going to call them? When are you going to do the pullback? When the Zoom's tomorrow at noon, how many hours before are you going to send the screencast? What are you going to send in your screencast? Do you have an outline? Do you have a script that you're going to send in your screencast? How are you going to overcome each of the objections? How are you going to eliminate each of the objections so you don't have to deal with objections when you get that close? When you get on the Zoom call, what's your script look like? How are you going to go through everything? What examples are you going to share? What stories are you going to share? Which case studies are you going to show? When you get to the close, what are you going to say? What happens when they object? What are you going to do? All of this, guys, and this is what I teach inside the program, is this perfect recipe. Now, I leave a little bit of wiggle room so people can kind of add their own flavor, their own twist. But for those of you that are not in there, those of you that are brand new to this, I'm here to tell you that if you are having inconsistent results, if you will go and map your flow, spend a day, spend a week, I don't care. Get out a blank piece of paper, get out a blank freaking document. And you need to know from the second you pick up that phone until the second you onboard them and start sending them leads and collect that credit card, every bloody step of that process to a T. And if something goes awry, how do you overcome it? What do you do in that situation? Now, I've done it enough times. I know exactly what I do. I know my process inside and out. That's what I teach. I'm just here to tell you guys, this training that I got changed my entire 4-year, I guess you call it my career, my entire 4-year experience of knocking doors, because I went from being an inconsistent, beat my head against the wall, getting deals because I'm literally just got bloody knuckles knocking so many doors, getting no after no after no after no, and putting forth 10 times more effort than everyone to get, barely better results, to getting consistent, predictable results where I knew if I knocked on a door that had this car in the driveway, that had this kind of a security system previously, that was this type of a person at this age demographic, like I just knew my percentages, man. I knew I was going to get a deal because I was so dialed in, and it became second nature. And then I got so good at it, I had to make sure that I was like thinking about what I was saying and I was creating emotion. I wasn't just going through the motions. So guys, my challenge to you and what I'm trying to get across in this call is from somebody that's been doing sales for 10 years, somebody that's been, 2013 was the first year I ever did sales, 10 years, all kinds of different stuff, door to door, on the phone, Zoom, all kinds of different, whatever, you name it, I've done it. This holds true across the board. And if you guys aren't doing this, you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. This has made me hundreds of thousands of dollars because I know exactly what to do. So here's the challenge. If you got on this call and you're going to do nothing about this, then shame on you. You just wasted your time. My challenge is that you get off this call and you go and you map out your flow. Go and map out your flow. Go and start creating your recipe. And guess what? For those of you that don't want to buy my recipe, that's completely fine. Start building yours. Start building your recipe and realize that if you build a recipe and you go to do it and your cake turns out like shit and it's completely sunken in and it tastes like freaking chalk, well, you get back in the lab, you get back in the kitchen and you go, oh, what should I do here? Should I change how much flour? And you start tweaking it, and then you bake another cake and it fails again, and you bake another cake and you bake another cake. And that is how you freaking do it. Now, the good news is I give enough freaking breadcrumbs. I give enough value on my YouTube channel and in here. You guys should have a very good base. You guys should have some main points of the ingredients that need to go in this. Now, you're not going to know exactly how much time it needs to be in the oven. You're not going to know exactly how much flour, what type of flour, what type of sugar, what type of butter, all of these little intricacies that matter. But you have a lot of the building blocks that you could go build a decent recipe and have a semblance of a cake. And the closer you can get to the recipe that I've created, the better chance you're going to have of that amazing chocolate cake, the one that freaking Brucey has to eat on Matilda. Go and map your flow. That's my challenge for you guys today. If you guys will do this, you will increase your closing percentage and you will become dangerous at sales. But what's going to happen is 99% of you will not. The one person that does, or the 2 people that do, or 3 people that do, they'll have incremental success and then they'll stop working on it. And the reason I am where I am is because I started creating a recipe and I spent 7 years creating it. And I spent millions of dollars testing and tweaking and this and that and the rest. And that's why I am where I am. I didn't give up.